imagine I work on the computer, you know, everything is fine. I work for several hours and I start to get a bit sleepy and more sleepy, and then I fall asleep and maybe I will not wake up. Or imagine that we wake up in the morning and Sasha comes here and she's like, oh, I want to make a tea. How nice. And then she goes here at the stove and then she presses the gas. She takes a lighter and she tries to turn on the gas, and then kaboom, and she explodes and we explode and the entire motorhome explodes. So this is not a far-fetched scenario. You know, there are many clickbaity videos out there saying, oh, this could have killed us, oh, whatever. But this fridge could have killed us. And I explain to you how. This is a three-way fridge. It has three ways of getting power. First is from gas. So we have gas in the back of the fridge, and that gas lights up a flame, and the flame heats up some components of the fridge, and that's how it cools down the fridge. And then there are two electrical systems here, like 230 volts, so that consumes a lot of power, but it cools down the fridge properly. And 12 volts, that is just for when you want to drive and you want to put it on power, on like electricity, and not have it on gas. That's inefficient. So there are three ways to get power for this fridge. And when we bought the motorhome, and that's the important part, the previous owner said, well, you know, it's a little problem with the fridge, but it's not that big of a deal, you know. And like, what's the problem? Well, when you put it on gas, it doesn't stay on, you know, the flame doesn't stay on. So when you put it on gas, usually, come here, when you put it on gas, you have to press this button, this gives gas, and then that's an igniter. It ignites, and you can see this red line here. You can zoom in. You can see this red line. When it's up there, you have to let it go, and normally it should stay up, and that will mean the flame is on, but this fridge wouldn't work, so you always go down. His idea was like, okay, it's simple. You open the door, you put this knob over here, you press the gas, then you press this button, and now it's going to work because you force the gas to continually come there in the back, and so it keeps the flame on. There is a huge problem with this, and we didn't quite realize. For example, one time it was very windy outside, so we put the fridge on like this, like we normally do. Everything was fine, but it was starting to smell like gas at one point. I was like, what is happening? And when I looked at the fridge, this line was down, meaning that the flame was off, but the gas was still running. Because when you press this knob, it has no way to the fridge to know that there is no gas, so you'll keep on pumping gas. And imagine it's here in the back of the fridge. It's inside the motorhome, and you work here on the computer, and all of the gas is coming. And if you stay for like hours and hours like this, you can gas yourself. So imagine you go to sleep for 8, 9, 10 hours. The gas will go on and on without a flame. And this is crazy. It's like you're gassing yourself. You are killing yourself, you know. We have a gas detector here nearby, but what if it's not enough gas to be detected by the detector? But when you come here and you don't even think and you want to light something on fire, here is full of gas, basically. I mean, you could create a fucking explosion, okay? So it was a very, very dangerous system like this. Not to mention that every single time we opened and closed the fridge, we had to like, okay, I open the fridge, I take a bottle of water, I drink something, and I'm like, oh fuck, now I have to put this here. Sometimes we have to try a few times to make it work. It will work. Like, okay, fine. You know, this is like a fucking big pain in the ass to do that. Oh, every single time you use the fridge. Plus, they started to crack here because of this plastic thing. So yeah, it was a bit of a problem. Not to mention that when we drive the motorhome, we try to put it on electric because it's not good to drive with a flame in the back. And with this system, if you switch it to electric, it means that you have two sources of power heating up the fridge. So I don't know what's going to happen, but you could do that. You could forget and put it on electric, but you also have it on gas, have two sources of power heating up the fridge. So it's very, very bad. Okay, so we spent months and months like this with this dangerous knob that would push the gas all the time. This is a super bad idea. Until I said, let's fix it. So how do you fix this? This fridge has a sensor. It's like a wire that goes to the back of the fridge where the flame is. So the flame is here, the sensor is here. So when the sensor detects a flame under, so it gets hot, it transmits an electrical current to the fridge, telling the fridge, okay, keep the gas on. So it keeps the gas on when the flame is on. When the flame is off, there is no electrical signal going here to this knob, the gas knob. So the gas knob, it just turns off the gas. That's basically how it's going, how it's working, you know. And when I checked the other sensor was completely burned. So the sensor wouldn't know when is the gas, when is the flame on or off. We will not know anything. So all I had to do is to replace this wire, basically, that's the sensor. So I opened the fridge in the back. Luckily, we have this piece of wood here that can be easily taken off, so I don't have to take the entire fridge out. And I had access inside of this top of the fridge, so I could just take out the other wire and then put a new wire. But it was kind of difficult because I didn't find the same kind of wire, so I had to find then another kind of connector. It took us weeks and weeks to find that connector because the wire needs to be interrupted. The wire comes into this interrupter. This interrupter is connected with wires to this, like, whatever you choose here, gas, 230 or 12 volts. Why is that important? Because when you switch to electric, then because the wire is interrupted, the fridge tells the gas, it's on electric, turn off the gas, or it's on gas, let the gas flow. So anyway, I have to like find this interrupter to put it here, put the wires again, and now, you know, after I did all of this, and it took weeks and weeks to find the parts and to understand how to fix it, finally we have a fridge that is working. So now I put this on gas, as simple as this. I put it here on gas, and then I come here, I press the gas button to let the gas in, press this to ignite it. We have to wait a little bit. That's how it is with all of these fridges. Sometimes they are a bit like, we have to wait a little bit. Let's see, let it go easily. And that's it. And now it stays. You see, it's on gas. We can open the fridge, close the fridge as many times as we want. And I'm telling you, you don't realize how annoying it is to like open the fridge and close the fridge and have to like turn it on all the time. And you know how relieving it was to be able to like, oh, now I can open the fridge, drink some water, and close the fridge. What the fuck is this? That's amazing. I discovered something new, you know. And now if I put it on, I switch this knob on electric. If you can come here and see. So I switch it on electric. Switch it here, we'll switch it on electric. Let's see. And then quickly see there, this thing should go off the line. It's going down like this. And this means that whenever we switch to electric, the gas is also off. So it works as it should be working. That's extremely important. Yeah, so basically, I fixed the fridge and now it's working like new. The 12 volts doesn't work. It didn't work before, but we don't need the 12 volts because we don't use it. That's only for when you drive, to keep the fridge cool. But when we drive, we switch it to 230, so to electric. It consumes a lot of power. That's why we cannot leave it on electric for long. It's a very inefficient fridge when you put it on electric, but on gas is really efficient. So far it worked perfectly fine. I fell in love again with this fridge now that it is working and it's a lot less stress and is not dangerous anymore. If there is wind outside and it will blow up the flame, then the gas will also turn off, and that's extremely important. Now no more explosions, possible explosions in the motorhome. And lastly, I just like a little improvement for the motorhome, I took out this fridge door. Look at this, absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. I have to fix this. Unscrew these things. I want to clean now. Basically, that's all it is. You unscrew these things, I'll clean it after, and then you take this fucking thing, rim, whatever this is now called, you take it off of here and put a new one. Let's see. Clean these things as much as I could, you know, it's quite difficult. And these ones, trust me, they were absolutely horrible. They were horrible. Like, look at this thing. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this thing. And I cleaned it, and I replaced all of these things, all of these rubbery parts. You know, not with anything specialized, but just with this adhesive silicone that costs just €5 for like 5 meters, and now it's working much better than before. And lastly, lastly, I put this thing in the fridge. I couldn't fix the light in the fridge. It has a light here somewhere, but I couldn't fix it. And this is a sensor light. Basically, it's as simple as that. And I put it with magnet. I put it in the fridge, and every time we open the fridge and it's dark, you can have a light in the fridge. Like a very simple solution. It lasts probably weeks, that light, and then you can recharge it with a USB cable. And that's it. This is the fridge that could have killed us. And I don't think that's exaggeration when I say that, because remember, again, to have a lot of gas flowing into the back of the motorhome, it's a very small motorhome. Run that gas for hours and hours, especially propane that you cannot really smell, is going to be a big danger. Now everything is working. Yeah! Woo!